Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is gonna be a slight rant, a rant on comic book movies and Hollywood taking comic book movies and basically doing their own thing with it. Now, you had got a lot of good movies that came out. Good comic book superhero movies. You have some like Blade, X-Men, Superman, but what's that? I think that 1970, 78, 79 series with Christopher Reeves, who was playing Superman. You have the first Tim Burton Batman, which was pretty good. Pretty good. Did I say Spider-Man? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is, I feel, is under one of the most underrated comic book movies of all time. But enough of that. It seemed like the comic book movies that come out today, they're good. Some of them are good. But the thing is, when Hollywood seems to want to make a comic book into a movie, the only problem I have with that is when Hollywood like to, or these particular studios like to put their own input or idea or their type of twist in it per se. Such as a movie I'd seen recently was Iron Man 3. And I mean, it kind of started off to be, a good movie, which, I mean, let's talk about the movie 1 second. Iron Man 3, the Mach, what was it? The Mach 43, the Mach 43 suit. It was a cool suit, but the idea of iron flying at you. I like the suit where it opens up and you step out. Tony Stark steps out of his suit, but the Mach 43 with you seen that like iron iron flying like that shit was crazy. Like it didn't make any sense for an Iron Man 3 like iron to be flying at you like that. I mean, nah. But the main thing I think Hollywood did to the movie that threw everybody for a whirl was the Mandarin. The Mandarin was hope I'm not spoiling the movie for anybody, but the Mandarin was a fictional figure in the movie. I mean, this was a plot in the movie where a corporation called AIM, which is MIA backwards, missing in action, hired a actor to play a boogeyman, to play the protagonist that's going to be, the threat to Iron Man and apparently the United States. I mean, the Mandarin in the Iron Man 3 movie, kind of remind me of like Bin Laden. I mean, he had like this turban around, and it was certain scenes in the movie where it looked like it was other people around him with Muslim or Islamic descent. That was kind of crazy, especially if you know the origin of the Mandarin. The Mandarin, it was an Asian who possesses 5 rings. I mean, the 5 rings wasn't in the movie. That's another thing Hollywood did with Iron Man 3 that was crazy. And just the Mandarin period. He was an actor who basically played the boogeyman. He was fake. He wasn't even real. He wasn't even the real threat. The real threat in the movie was the corporation AIM. And he had, I don't know who this dude was. He wasn't the Mandarin. He wasn't Victor Van Doom. He was a made up character that Hollywood seemed to always throw some type of made up character of their own. Like when you're dealing with a comic book and it's a comic book movie, you got years of 70 years plus history, and I mean tons of characters, tons of supervillains, tons of superheroes to choose from, and you choose a corporation exec who turns into fire. I don't know. Every supervillain or protagonist that was in the movie was like a walking cigarette stick. They would just blow up and turn into fire. Like, that was crazy. I mean, even just like I was saying, the Mandarin alone was crazy. If you ask me, that's probably was the real story of Bin Laden. It was fake. But another movie that was I seen recently that I felt was kind of crazy, that Hollywood seemed to put their own twisted idea in it, and this particular producer, director, that everybody seemed to praise because he did these three comic book movies, and kind of turned all right, but I don't know. The third one, I'm talking about The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight Rises. As a matter of fact, The Dark Knight Rises had the main villain was Bane, and Bane didn't even have. He didn't even have the venom. The venom that when pumps him, give him super strength. It wasn't in there. It was. I don't know why they didn't put that in the movie. That's one of, and here's with Christopher Nolan. I just want to make Batman realistic. I mean, come on, realistic. It's a comic book. That's the whole purpose of comic book and the comic book movies. Like, it's not real. Why try to make something fake? Come on, Batman. He's a fucking character in a rubber suit or whatever type of suit he in a bat suit. Running around, how realistic can you make that, for real? And you keep him who he is, but everybody else just had to be realistic. Like, come on, Bane was just like with Sean Connery in The Mask. Batman. There's a lot of questions for you, Batman. I was want to get you. That's how he sounded in the movie. Like, it was stupid. It was real stupid. And I know it's a movie that's coming out in the future. Favorite franchise of mine, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and what I heard about it before, it's being handled by Michael Bay. Pretty good movie director, if you ask me. Everybody, I know it's been a lot of backlash about him taking over the project because of the three Transformer movies, which was, I think, pretty okay movies. Okay. You see, okay, that's all I'm saying. It ain't the best movies, but to be an action movie, it was pretty good. Especially the first one. Can't hate on the first one. The first one, it really probably didn't stick to the origin too much, or, but the story that they gave us to be in the movie was a good movie. Came out to be a good movie. Now the second one, it was some wacky tacky bullshit in there. I mean, you had robots with balls and robots that was stereotypical robots that talk like they was black or something. Like, it was a crazy movie. The second one, the third one, it was somewhat of a clusterfuck. That's another thing with Michael Bay Transformers, that seemed like he put the humans, more of the heroes of the stories than the robots. And the Transformers, the robots, were supposed to be the star of the movie. It seemed like Shia LaBeouf and what's the girl, Megan Fox was mainly the stars in the movie. That's the thing. But with Ninja Turtles, the project that he's taking over, was a lot of backlash because he was supposedly going to make the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles into aliens or something like that. I didn't even pay that no mind. I'm glad they didn't go along with that idea. It's probably because of the fans. It was a whole lot of backlash, and obviously, to me, he probably misconstrued his words because he's so stuck on this Transformers shit. It's like, and they're from another planet, and they're coming, and they're gonna be fun lovable. I'm like, damn, wasn't that the Transformers? But they decided, I guess, to change the idea around. But I'm pretty sure, even with them changing the title back around, they gonna jack that movie up too. You know, because Hollywood seemed to jack up a lot of good comic book movies. They changed a lot of stuff in there, like, you know, X-Men 3. They had I think the thing with X-Men that kind of threw me off, that really didn't get me into the X-Men movies, is the simple fact that they were all in black suits, like, and that, black suits, like, and that's another thing. Like, it's been a lot of movies that like to change the costumes around too. Like, why are you changing the costume around? Why? What's so retarded about Hollywood? I don't mean to use the word retarded, but y'all acting the way y'all act accordingly. Y'all acting a little special. You got, like I said, years of history. You got stories. You got the plots already done for you. You even got the costumes done for you. All you gotta do is bring it to life. That's all we want to see, is to bring it to life. Y'all just want to change it up. So, I think this will be more realistic. The fans will get into this more if they're all in some type of black jumpsuit, and that's all. Our characters basically been in plain suits. I mean, give it the recently Iron Man, not Iron Man, the Avengers movie. That was a pretty good movie. Can't front on that. The storyline was a little generic, had a little Independence Day feel to it, but I mean, how much story can you put in with a lot of actors in there? But it was a good movie. But a lot of these movies, man, with the costumes, as I was saying, it's no point. It's no point in changing the costume, especially like when I was saying it, X-Men 3. It was like all their costumes was whack. Like I guess they wanted to give the actors some type of face time, but how cool would it be if all the X-Men, I mean, give it, Wolverine's suit is a bright yellow, but how cool would it be to see everybody in their outfits, man? I mean, the proper outfits. I mean, the proper comic book style outfit that they can make it look realistic. They can really make it look fancy. Why they always got to change that? Only costumes they probably really did good with is Spider-Man and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I could be wrong. Just let me know. Like, I would like to ask all y'all, if y'all got any, any input. What basically is y'all problem with Hollywood when it comes to comic book movies? Because I think I said enough. What you think?